Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of Sub-Urbia, My Silver Lining. So, last time, we got into a fight in our coupons, in the tire aisle of the coupons. This horrible Cthulhu fishman with flared mouth flaps and head tentacles revealed himself as the previously discovered stalker. They beat him up, took him out back, put him in a bunch of tires, and interrogated him, finding a little bit out before his head exploded twice. And they called the police to the scene. They dealt with it as such, and the group returned to Brekka, the private investigator's apartment, where they proceeded to gather their clues and kind of do some research and find out a couple things. So for this first, Sub-Urbia is a modern urban fantasy set below the real world, sort of like Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere or Shin Megami Tensei, Studio Ghibli, kind of mashed up together. The party is Tina, a Triton druid, barista Triton druid, Brekka, a half-orc rogue private investigator, Brookes, a cosplay star, and a tiefling warlock, and Amy, a half-elf 90s singer-songwriter. Last night, Amy ordered Chinese food, so there are the obligatory cartons with a noodle hanging out, as if that's how anyone would ever leave their Chinese food sitting on the table for a long time. And you all gathered a bunch of clues, and probably at some point, variously in shifts, maybe even fell asleep at some point. So you all have a long rest, and if anyone wants to do anything the night before, just chime in, but otherwise we'll pick up in the morning. What would you all like to do?
Brekka got her Pinterest board clue wall all set up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You pulled a fresh cork board out of the closet. You got your ribbon. You opened up your eye sock. I think you printed out your stock photos. Yeah, you're good. Oh, there it is.
I don't think I would have anything to do before hitting the hay.
Yeah, Amy's a caretaker of sorts, so I think she'll just go sort out breakfast. Go to a bodega, get them breakfast sandwiches or what have you.
I was going to ask if she cooked, but I felt like bodega would be.
No, yep. She probably has exactly 2 meals in her repertoire, and neither of them very good. So,
brewing a pot of coffee, that's one meal.
That's one meal.
Going to the bodega for breakfast sandwiches, there's 2.
And she makes an egg as is what she calls it.
Oh, just however it turns out, that's what you got?
That's it.
It's a mystery. How do eggs work?
Salt, little pepper. I think that's it. I don't know.
Sometimes it's hard in the middle, sometimes it's not. Life's a treat, everybody. Okay, yeah, so there's breakfast sandwiches, maybe a couple pastries, coffee, all set out for you, for everybody. So yeah, what next?
Do we want to review what we know?
Yeah, let's all be looking at this board, this pin board. Let's review our clues.
That's probably a good idea because I'm still not entirely sure what's going on.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe Amy/Marty should do that because my notes are kind of a jumbled mess right now.
No problem. I'm on it. So yes, Adrian kind of in the center. Our poor murdered dwarf with the soul of a poet here. Let's see. Adrian Widestreet was murdered, seemingly to send a message to Brekka, because it was certainly done in their office, but didn't seem to be trying to be pinned on it, or not very effectively, because Griff Norwood, human detective, was able to pretty quickly be like, well, it wasn't you.
I thought it was that he wasn't killed in the office. He was moved to the office.
That's right. Yes.
But it was trying to be a frame job, but it was like a sort of bad frame job.
It was a very poor frame job, if that was indeed its purpose.
Okay.
They put a couple of crossbow bolts in him and called it a day.
Yeah.
Post-mortem.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like they beat him up, but then put a banana peel by his feet to try to make it look like he slipped.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quick, spill a bottle of water.
So yes, Adrian was kind of framed up, was not killed here. Did we confirm that he was killed in his apartment, though?
I thought it was
There was
said
definitely
that
sign
he
of
wasn't.
a struggle there, but
You don't think he was. There was a struggle there, but you think he was killed in an undisclosed location, a third place.
yeah.
So
Then brought
So yeah, timeline would be fight started there,
right,
left.
and someone burned some information.
Yes.
All right.
Side note, poor guy. Like, he's getting it like 3 times at least.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. There's a note that says "I'm sorry" that he had on him, written in kind of florid handwriting. All right, so we have Cloud Giant Records is one kind of point of our triangle with Jaskvar Nimbus, because that's where Adrian worked for. Mm-hmm. We have the Grung Mafia, because we have been threatened by suspicious fishfolk and have a history with the Grung Mafia, being an enemy of Brekka's. We have the or several Mareed who are getting involved here, because they certainly sent the Deep Scion after us. And we know of at least one Mareed, Jeff, who works at Elias Media Group, because that's who Brookes very cleverly sold their soul to.
Super cleverly.
Super cleverly. And something that came together pretty late in the episode was a bridge between Elias Media Group and potentially Cloud Giant Records was Tabitha, the pop singer from episode 1. We got a voicemail that suggested that basically just keep us out of the way of the investigation, it seemed like, but also to be extra protective of Brookes in that pursuit, because they are a new asset, which I don't like at all. And I think that's about it. Jaskvar Nimbus had a history with the Grung Mafia, but that, since with enough distance since time, has been kind of erased from the public remembrance of him.
Yeah. And with the waning of the Grung Mafia's power, it might literally be, you're not useful anymore, bye. Like,
Yeah.
And he's a giant, so he'd just be like, yeah, come fight me, I guess.
Yeah. So we don't really know what the motivations against Adrian are in any of this. The motivations against Brekka would presumably be someone is perfectly fine with framing Brekka with this murder, which maybe was accidental, and maybe that's part of why it was like put 2 crossbow bolts in their back and throw them in someone's office and be like, I don't know, he was like that when I got here.
But doesn't Brekka use a crossbow?
Yeah, but it's not an uncommon weapon or anything like that.
Yeah. No one's allowed to use guns. So.
Yeah, guns don't work down here, so hand crossbows are kind of the next closest thing. They're fairly easy to use, and they are a self-defense weapon. You're not going to take down a minotaur with them, but no one wants to get shot with a crossbow.
All right, so Adrian starts their internship at Cloud Giant Records. Mm-hmm. Sees or hears something that they shouldn't. Someone comes and roughs them up to find out what they know or think they know. Step 5, question marks. Adrian ends up dead from it. They put 2 or they move the body to try and frame it on Brekka, put 2 crossbow bolts in the back of their head. And then a Mareed gets involved to send Deep Scions to trail us, but not apparently to actually directly confront us. Would seem to be. But even discovering that part was enough for them to explode a man's head twice. So, first, gross. Second, gross. I stand by my first statement.
What about that note that was in...
The I'm sorry?
What do we think that was towards Brekka or towards Adrian?
I have a... Go ahead.
Or it might be just Adrian sorry about something for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might have been a start of a poem, too.
Did it look like his handwriting?
It did not look like his handwriting. No.
Right.
But that doesn't mean
He
it's
was
not
killed
none
by
of
someone
you.
he knew?
Certainly that is a possibility. There we
We
go.
do like
Point the right way.
handwriting analysis check.
Sure, yeah, because it could certainly be him attempting to change his handwriting. So give me handwriting's magic. Give me an Arcana check. I don't know. Investigation, intelligence, some sort of intelligence check, charisma. I don't know. Handwriting check.
Yeah, I'll...
Well, if it's a charisma check, then I have a 13.
Okay.
Let's see. Who has the highest intelligence? I'm going to assume it's Brekka, but...
I want to say Brekka.
I mean, I have like a 12.
Yeah, all right, me too. You just probably have proficiency in the save.
Oh, my intelligence is 15 plus 2.
All right. And I spent a lot of time with like reading his notebooks and stuff like that. Can I give advantage?
Sure, yeah. So
Instead.
Tina has advantage on this check.
Okay.
Do you want me to do just a straight intelligence check or like perception? Because I have proficiency in perception.
You can roll perception. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Nice. 21.
Okay. You are looking at this, and you've never tried to decipher anyone's handwriting before, but you are pretty sure that they were not written by the same person, even someone attempting to conceal or alter their handwriting. There are certain characteristics that remain constant, even when you try and write nicer. It's not just like his handwriting in cursive or anything like that. It is a different person's hand.
Definitely someone else.
Yeah, you might even be able to tell that he was left-handed and this person was not left-handed. Which doesn't necessarily... It would be more helpful if it was the other way, but that's why it's not.
Sure.
They were fish-handed.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a leap in the way that you can solve most TV mysteries in the first or second commercial break because, well, why else is this guest star there? They're clearly the bad guy. But I wonder, because it's effusive, like, it's girly handwriting, right? It's big, it's bubbly, it's...
The eyes have hearts over them.
Yeah, it's big, puffy girl handwriting. And Tabitha is performatively just... Tabitha would put hearts over her eyes.
Almost certainly.
Almost certainly. Now, I don't have the why or how of that at all, but I have 2 pieces of evidence, and they spent money on the actress who played Tabitha, so she's not just here incidentally.
And they got Mandy Moore. It's a get.
Yeah, right. Like, that's...
She would be played by Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. Like, Mandy Moore's a very good actress.
Yeah.
America's sweetheart.
Well, one way or another, it seems like Tabitha's involved. Should we go... I don't know.
Right.
To her?
And especially if her candor was, I'm sorry, then certainly she regretted whatever she got Adrian into, or...
Was Tabitha, like... She didn't really seem too keen on apologizing when we last met her, so, like, if it was her that was saying I'm sorry, it's probably a big deal.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So do we want like a game plan on how we're gonna talk to her? Because
and one of the ways we made that connection is because Tabitha may have also sold their soul the way that Brookes did. So, is Elias Media Group a group of Mareed that buy souls and flip them, or is it all Jeff? Because are we going directly against your patron, and how do they feel about
you think, from your research, Elias Media Group does seem to be a conglomerate. There's a Jeffrey, his brother, probably some producer everyone hates.
Yep,
for
Rick
no
Rubin.
reason.
Okay. Which, by the way, I love that as a warlock concept. It's a collective. Why are we spreading ourselves out? Pool our resources, people. Love that for us. Okay, so
you all can sell your souls. Like, just FYI.
That's true. I've got the charisma to become a warlock.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so at one point, I think it sounded like we were just going to storm Cloud Giant Records, which seems a mistake. So Tabitha seems like the most kind of dangling thread that we can kind of pull on with the least amount of physical threat to ourselves. Does everyone agree that?
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Minimizing physical threat.
Yeah. Also, one thing that we've had on the table since episode 2 is we can try and track down traffic cameras to see if we can see who brought the body here.
Do we want to split skis and some of us go and do traffic cams and some of us go and talk to Tabitha?
I genuinely love splitting the party, by the way. I do think that's a great... Especially in this kind of setting, it doesn't feel like it's that immediately dangerous, but that will be hilarious when it's that immediately dangerous. I
mean,
I do think showing up with 4 people...
She is involved with a murder, but I don't feel like she's particularly dangerous. And then, I mean, going to get traffic cams is pretty mundane. Yeah.
However, I was going to say best case scenario or worst case scenario, but probably even just middle case scenario. She is a level 3 warlock. Like, just
2 spells and done.
Yeah, that's true. So we should at least bring 2 people to her. If we do split the group, I think Brookes and I should go after Tabitha because we're probably going to speak her language the most. Mm-hmm. And then Brekka and Tina, Brekka probably has the connections and Tina has the intelligence, has the big brain. So maybe that's a split if we want to do that.
Okay. Okay. Cannot believe that I'm the brains here.
You're a scientist.
Yeah, you're a postgraduate student.
How can you not believe you're the brains?
She has not seemed to have made that connection yet.
It's certainly not me.
Yeah, no.
She's like, I only have a bachelor's degree.
Brekka's street smart.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Brookes is here, everyone. So we got that going for us. Okay, so yeah, so sorry. How do you want to do it? What are you doing? What's up? How are you? Dungeons and Dragons. This is episode 4 of Sub-Urbia. I'm Andy Hatton, and today we're going to figure this
out. I think Brekka and Tina are going to go look for traffic cams, and then Amy and Brookes are going to go look for Tabitha.
I have a bit of an idea on how to start that, but it's only a bit.
Just hit her up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I was gonna say, like, she probably doesn't turn off her location on Instagram, so you could probably just scroll through it.
Yeah. That is me and Amy being the same kind of dummy, because I'm like, well, I guess we can go back to the pit and ask Ivan if she or Grigor if she left any contact information. No, yeah, we can just stalk her online. Like a modern creep would do. God. Such a dated creep.
You're going to put all the legwork into being a creep. You don't have to anymore.
No,
She
so
might be snapdragoning as we speak. So
yeah, a terrific own goal by me and my character. Like, I would even like that to be the scene of just kind of like, all right, well, we can do this. And meanwhile, like, Brooks is like, got her. Yeah, she's performatively eating breakfast as we speak.
We also have a ride, and I ordered his food.
Right, I'll be here in 2 minutes.
And I bought this cool hat. Okay. Let's do this randomly. Perfect. Okay. So, Amy and Brooks, yeah, exactly that scene. Amy has taken out her own corkboard and has like started it. Got her.
yep, I got it.
And you head outside and wait for your
Winter.
I was going to say Suber. I don't know.
Okay.
Uber.
Sure.
To come and grab you guys. Which I'll have to figure out what it is because there aren't cars. Brekka and Tina, how do you want to do this? What do you want to do?
I guess we could head down to the local police station. I think that's the people who are handling traffic cameras, or it would be the Department of Transit.
Yeah, you could head down to the DMV, or Department of Transit, DOT. Yeah, that's right.
Deal with fantasy DMV today.
Oh no!
As someone who has been
SU-dot.
dealing with the DMV for the past couple of days, this is the exact kind of escapism that I need.
Yes. And there's nothing I love more than a fantasy bureaucracy. So
They're the best.
Yeah.
it's my favorite. So so yeah, you head down to the DOT and you head up and there's this absolutely ancient looking tiefling, just like 1,000 bags, more wrinkles than taut skin on face, white hair braided, really, really long yellowed horns. Their skin is a deep, deep red, and just kind of leaning. They're wearing a cardigan and a shawl and a blanket. And it's 1,000,000 degrees in here, and they're still cold. And yeah, just kind of, there's no one here. So yeah, you can just walk right up. Hello.
Hello there, citizen. My colleague and I are investigating a case, and we need the traffic cams for I forgot what.
I think it's Dragon
Street
and
Island.
Maine. I think we've decided.
Yeah.
She says, "Of course," and she kind of wheels around and pulls out a big old stack of papers, and she says, "It's a simple triplicate form for the Order of Information Act. Here you go. Freedom of Information, same thing."
Cool.
Great.
Okay.
Just what I always wanted to do. Paperwork. And she says, "Is there anything else I can help you with?"
How long are you open till?
She looks at the clock. She says, "We're open from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Then we take a 3-hour lunch, then a 2-hour break, and we reopen from 4:30 to 5. Some time might be unaccounted for. That's free time for me and my cats."
And it's only you working here.
Yep. Been this way for 50 years. When I retired from the post office.
Tina's gonna look at Brekka and be like, suddenly a lot of things in Sub-Urbia are starting to cans.
Yeah.
As soon as she mentions the cats too, you are kind of, you realize what the smell in here is, and it's just like a lot of cat.
Oh. Let's start filling out these forms. I think I have an easier way to get the tapes.
Tina, once she realizes how much like cat smell is in here, has started to have the same kind of anxiety as watching your cat stick his paw in the fishbowl.
Yeah.
Just inexplicably.
Yeah.
She doesn't really understand why. She's just like, okay.
It's a real instinctive predator-prey thing, yeah.
Like, I have the instinctive urge to run as far away from here as possible. Let's... All the while she's fighting through sneezes.
So yeah, Brekka finds a little side table with one of those very short chained pens. And do you want to fill this out, or did you have an alternate plan?
I was gonna wait until she went on her lunch break, and then I would break in.
Okay. So yeah, you wait half an hour, and she kind of shuffles to the front and flips the little sign that says, "We'll be back at 4:30." And she says, "Are you done with your paperwork, or will you be returning at 4:30?"
Oh, we'll be back around 4.
Okay. She just kind of disappears into the back. Let yourself out.
Cool. As soon as Brekka hears like a door close, she's like immediately like vaulting over the counter.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so you're back there, and it's just stacks and stacks of paperwork. But you eventually find a really old computer back there.
Oh no, we should have brought Brookes. Tina, do you know how computers work?
No.
I guess Brekka's gonna like just try hitting keys, see if that works.
Okay, yeah. So a kind of pure black screen kind of flickers on, and green text appears on it that says, Sub-Urbia DOT SUDOT, as Marty said a minute ago. And it's just like, would you like to enter database Y/N?
Why?
Okay. Erupting from a bunch of paperwork is a hydraulic tube that kind of shoots one of those like little glass cylinders. It kind of looks like that. Out and kind of hits the ground, and it's just like this wad of paper.
Is that the database?
So you open it up, and it is instructions to access the database. So, if you follow them, you can kind of... It's a lot of if blank, then blank. But eventually you find the storage server for videos. And from a DOT term, from like a kind of this office, unless you go to the central office, or back further into the DOT, from this terminal, you can only print screenshots of it. You can't watch the full video. You can print screenshots of it, though. Unless you want to try and break back further where Gladys is.
Probably bad to interrupt Gladys. Can I, we knew the time of death, right? Or at least...
I believe you at the very least knew, when Adrian was placed there and roughly the time of death, so you could limit the time frame of what you would need to print.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully it's enough paper.
There's so much paper here that you could just flip something over and like print it on the backside of some form. But yeah, you feed a bunch of paper through, and you get a pretty big stack of semi-grainy, pictures about that big, kind of grid laid on pieces of paper.
Is it that like old style printer paper that's like
it's got the
folded over and it's got the perforated edges?
Got the perforated edges. It's a dot matrix printer. Like, it's great. Everything's green and black.
This is too real.
But yeah, you have a sheet of a big, long sheet of images.
Okay. I'll turn to Tina and say, okay, we got what we need. Let's head back to the office and look through these.
Oh, please. I can't breathe in here.
Okay. So you open the door. 5 cats leave with you and 5 more enter behind them.
You know what? Never mind. They'll probably find their way back.
They seem like they run the neighborhood, essentially.
Cat Mafia is the one we really need to be looking out for.
So yeah, and then you head back to the office. So, is there anything in particular you are looking for in these pictures, or just looking at them?
I guess I'll be looking for, people, maybe like 1 or 2 guys like looks like they're carrying a body-sized bag or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So, flipping through, you eventually find someone who is carrying like a very lumpy like laundry bag kind of thing, like what you would get from a dry cleaner's, that kind of black zip up case. It's really lumpy. It would probably be about 4 feet tall, kind of broad, a dwarf-ish. The person looks like they're struggling with the bag, and they look like they're about, maybe 5.5 feet tall, kind of generic looking. They have a trench coat on. Can I get perception checks from either? Or no, I'm sorry, investigation checks from either of you. Or both, rather.
Ooh.
It's a natural 1, so it's 5.
So
it's investigation, so
yes.
18.
18, excellent. You believe this person has cast disguise self on themselves. The camera captures the illusion, but the way it captures the illusion is weird. Like it's almost as if it captures like Odo from Deep Space Nine, where like don't really have features. They're kind of just really, and that is a thing that happens when someone has cast an illusion spell on themselves around very unsophisticated basic cameras. Sub-Urbia has cameras that can see through that stuff. They're not installing them on street corners there. They're too expensive. So whoever is carrying the person has cast disguise self on themselves.
Okay.
And again, they're trying to make it look like they're not carrying a body. They're carrying some very lumpy, heavy dry cleaning.
Okay. I think Brekka would try to scan the picture into Photoshop.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And very inexpertly spend some time trying to clean it up.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Enhance. It's not doing it. Enhance and magnify. How does this look better? So yeah, trying to clean it up totally. Okay. You and Tina, calming down from her allergy panic attack, can work on that for a bit. Amy and Brookes, eventually a little, essentially like it's an electric bike that has like a very tiny bench seat in the back of it, kind of pulls up and stops and looks at Brookes and says, "I'm your ride."
Ride's here, Amy.
Okay, yeah. Get in the back of this little scrimshaw, or what?
It's basically an electric bike powered rickshaw. Yeah, or
Okay.
rickshaw.
Rickshaw.
Yeah, that's it.
Except it's really slow.
Sounds
and
like a horse.
it did sound like a Mustang. Yeah. Where would you like to go?
Where did my checking up on Tabitha lead us?
Yeah, so she's at like some trendy brunch place called Brunsk. It's got an umlaut.
An umlaut over the S.
Yeah. It's got that.
Deeply terrible.
You want to go and get some Brunsk?
No, man, no. Not once in my life.
Oh, well, that's where Tabitha is, so.
Oh, well, no, yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go there. I'm full good on ordering Brunsk. But yeah, let's go. And that's cool because it's public. We can all feel safe, hopefully. Like hit the tire aisle of a coupon.
So yeah, your little rickshaw, your little like bike message or bike transportation guy, and it starts like talking as if you're like maybe tourists, even though that's not a thing here. Like
Sure.
Weirdly recommending things, like he's trying to be friendly, but it's a lot of, if you have some free time, check out the Penny Museum. It's got all the pennies that ever fell down sewer grates in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh man, yeah. Don't
Snap a quick couple of pics.
And yeah, eventually you get to Brunsk, and yeah, it's this very bleak-looking little building. There's a black awning. Yeah, Brunsk is spelled weird. There's an umlaut over the S. It's not that U, it's the O with the line through it, and the K is backwards. And you're just like, what is this?
It's the art house.
Yeah, and there's a little area outside. It looked like Tabitha was eating indoors, but there is a little outdoor eating area.
So we want to like crash your table, or do we want to be like, oh hey Tabitha, funny meeting you here? What's our strat?
That sounds better. Yeah, again, it's on record that I'm a pretty confrontational person, so kind of going up and being like, what do you have to do with Adrian? Probably I'm gonna follow your lead. That's a better way of doing it. Let's pretend like, I guess, let's get a table, I guess.
Or maybe we could act like we're getting a table, and then we could like, notice her and be like, oh, can we join you? That play.
100%. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So you settle up with the bike messenger guy. I keep saying messenger. That's not right, but whatever. Bike.
Maybe he also delivers messages. I don't know.
Throws a parcel at somebody and then putts off. So yeah, you go inside.
It's a gig economy, man.
You go inside, and there's this like terribly thin Eladrin woman who's got more piercings on her face than you thought possible, but they're somehow like very sparse. It's weird. And she just kind of glares at you like, what?
We'd like a table for two.
I'm sorry, are you walk-ups? We don't do walk-ups.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you barring me from eating at your establishment?
Yes, it's a private enterprise. I can do whatever I want.
Like, can we see past her now? Like, is the place empty? Is it brimming? Like,
it's.
I didn't realize this would be a whole princess breakfast situation.
Yeah, it's like full to capacity, but every table is. There's like no order to anything. Like all the tables are kind of mismatched, and they're all kind of scattered all over the place. But every table is full, and there is no little waiting. Like you walk up, and you're supposed to be like, "I have a reservation," or "I input it in your app," or "I wrote you by Messenger Owl," or whatever.
Yeah.
I whispered a dream once, and now I have a reservation here. And
I hate everything about this.
Do we see Tabitha?
Kind of peering around, you can see Tabitha. She seems to be with one or two other people, or two other people. I don't know why I always wish-wash on numbers.
Is it one or two other people?
That second one is nebulous. You're not quite
it's
sure there.
they cast gaseous form on themselves. It's a thing here, apparently.
All right. And deep enough in that we're for sure going to cause some commotion if we just try to be like, that's our friend.
You certainly could try and, smooth talk this person into letting you back there, but it's not going to go unnoticed. You could. It's also on the way to the bathroom if you wanted to try that play, but
at this place, all right. Brooks,
we just want to
check
be
their
weird.
app real quick.
Oh yeah.
See whether or not how much of a pain in the ass it is.
To get a reservation here.
Yeah. I thought we had a reso.
Yeah, can I check?
Sure, yeah.
Their website.
They don't have reservations for the next 2 hours. I want you to make a scene in this restaurant.
Yeah.
We could just be weird and wait outside.
You could also do that.
2 hours.
Conveniently wait around the corner and then wait for Tabitha to leave and then be like, oh, just.
What kind of people is Tabitha with? Does this look like a business brunch?
Yeah, you would say the two people she is with. One is a human woman wearing a suit with a skirt kind of thing, very very nicely appointed, short hair pulled back a little bit. And then the other one is, you would say, record producer-y.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of effortless douchebag look kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't recognize either of them specifically, right? Just they have that.
You would pin them as record exec and record producer. Yeah, you've not seen them. You have seen them though, kind of.
Yeah. I know the type.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we even want to bother her with these?
I've never wanted anything more in my life. But
are we going to be able to question her adequately when there's two other people around?
That's a good question, but if they're from Cloud Giant Records, we can maybe make it hot for two birds, one pot, that old saw.
Then wouldn't we also be attracting more attention to ourselves when we've already got weird fish people stalking us?
That is true. Brooks, you are keeping me alive right now. Got it. Waiting for her to come out. Yeah, I guess that's smart. I, like Andy, kind of want us to make a scene in this restaurant, but that's a smarter play all around. So yeah, I guess do we just want to what's around?
There's a Caribous Coffee on the corner. There's a hold on. There's a Dart across the street, which is kind of a department store.
Yeah.
And there's a bar, but that's probably not open.
I say we just go get a coffee and
bodega.
Wait.
A couple CPAs on this street or tax places and one law firm, a tiny little law office. It's a nice little sort of corner street. Street corner is the more applicable word.
All right, yeah. I'm actually boycotting Caribous, but yeah, we can.
Amy, if we go to everywhere that you're boycotting, I have a feeling half of the city will be closed off to us.
Well, yeah. I have a hand-drawn map on how you can navigate the places that are cool. The ones in yellow are suspect, though. So, all right, point taken. It's mostly bodegas. But, okay, so I pull up my sleeve and it says, fuck Brunsk on it. I kind of storm out.
The lady snaps a picture and she says, thank you for being part of our viral fuck Brunsk campaign.
God, mismatched is not an aesthetic. All right.
Do you have a hashtag with that I could use?
Hashtag fuck Brunsk.
And that's with the O with the weird dash
the line
through
to
it.
it, yeah. Which is...
Gonna need to pull up an ASCII.
All
I'm
right.
furious. I storm out.
I videotape us storming out. Hashtag fuck Brunsk.
I think they want that. Well, that'll get you some likes, I'm sure.
I'm hoping for.
Okay, so you leave the Brunsk.
At which point I may as well, I'll text Brekka that we're here for a while. So if they get done, we'll let them kind of know what our update is. But we're just posting up at the Caribdis across from the bad Caribdis.
Right. Right. You have a choice.
Yeah.
One of them is outlets and the other one doesn't. So
Right. So yeah, just so at the very least we've transmitted at last known location.
I feel like I'm always transmitting a last known location.
That's true. Again, Amy is just a redundancy on everything Brookes is doing.
Yeah, Brekka, you probably get that about when you have finished hacking the mainframe at the DOT. So as you're walking out, you know that Amy and Brookes will be a while. They said it's going to be a waiting game. So whatever you're done, whatever you're doing, you could do with that what you will. But they won't be back for a while. Okay.
Should have sent up a thumbs up emoji.
Okay.
My phone's saying she has question mark. It's just a question mark, a box with a question mark in it. I don't understand what she didn't understand, but we'll get back to it.
So there's a very funny joke about that on Brooklyn Nine-Nine at some point, where Captain Holt just reads. He has a long string of those, and he keeps reading box with a question mark out loud. Trying to be like, what? I don't understand what this means. Means you don't have emojis installed on your phone, Captain. Okay, so across the street, you have now been here for like 2 hours, and brunch is certainly not supposed to take that long.
What does a Brunsk take that long?
A Brunsk is an all-day affair. Hashtag fuck Brunsk.
Fuck Brunsk.
Can I check her social feed to see if she's updating it all? Because a social media queen going 2 hours without updating, that's...
Sure, so she's...
Hashtag Power Brunsk.
Yeah.
She's updated her story a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly her responding to fans, how they'll be listening to @Tabitha, @Tabby, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right now is saving my life or whatever, and she'll be like, OMG, thank you. It's a lot of that stuff, which means she's certainly not paying attention to the people she's actually having brunch with.
Mm-hmm.
But her most recent update is from 2 minutes ago, and it says it's just one of those little pictures with the text over it. It says thank you all so much for your support. Big news coming soon. Can't say what, but hashtag in the clouds. One of those vague kind of, yeah, we know what you mean. Just tell us.
Yeah.
Like, you're,
Yeah.
I think she might have just signed like a record deal or something.
Tabby. Now they own you. You know what I mean? Now they own you. Little mall tour that you did is going to look pretty tame by comparison. It was only part of your soul. That's it. That's your whole soul.
Sorry, I just love that there's this diatribe going on in the coffee shop across the street.
I've been sipping on fountain water the whole time, too.
You don't even use one of those free lemons they give you?
Mm-mm. Get out of here with your big lemon, corporatized lemon wedges.
That could mean that they're wrapping up.
Yeah, it could. Well, yeah, let's get out of here and kind of be mobile in case she bounces the other way. Now we got to run to catch up. I don't have a bill to settle up, but I don't know if you...
Oh, I paid when I bought
Okay.
my coffee. That's how it works, Amy.
I don't know how it works.
I feel like you should know that by now.
Yeah, I've never bought from here.
The app, get free points.
Yeah.
And to get like 1,000 of those, you get one free small coffee.
And you get 500 points and you get a small coffee, it seems, That's a small coffee I wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
They've just gamified your soul, man. I guess I'm talking to the wrong person because you've literally you gamified your own soul. But
Yeah. Beat them to it.
yeah. It's one way to do it. You know what?
Joke's on
Respect
you.
that.
Yeah.
They can't
If I
gamify
get-
my soul if I gamified my own soul first.
That's right.
Exactly.
So yeah, as you
Mhm.
get up to leave, there is a skeleton man in a little SUPTA hat yelling for someone's manager, and you kind of squeeze your way out. And yeah, as you kind of walk, you can see across the street, Tabitha has awkwardly, she's very enthusiastic, but given awkward hugs to the other two, like they didn't know they were getting hugs. They're used to handshakes kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, oh my god, thank you. And then she kind of turns to start walking down the street and immediately takes out her phone and looks like she's ordering up one of the bike carts. Bike carts.
Gotta move.
Okay. Text Brekka that she's out and we're approaching again, just so that if this inevitably goes terribly, we have some excuse for it. They know where we were. Do we still want to do like the funny meeting you here thing?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go.
All right.
Oh my god, is that Tabitha from the bar the other night?
Oh shoot, Tabs.
She kind of bristles at being called Tabs. But she says, oh, hello, always happy to take a picture with a fan. And she kind of takes out her phone and snaps an awkward selfie where it's mostly her and the two of you were sort of in it. And she said, check out my feed later and maybe you'll be on it.
I try to lean out of it.
Stick, do you want to take one with me
Sure.
CC.
for my feed?
True.
I am actual mad.
Did I have the selfie stick yesterday? No. Did I buy it specifically for the stream? Also no.
Bless
But
you.
am I using it for the stream? Yes.
100%.
So yeah,
Amazing.
which I hope is now one of your improvised weapons is a selfie stick. Flick that thing out, and yeah, and she's like, "Oh my god, is this a Selfie 5000? This brand is great."
Oh my god, it's so good. I've been using it all day. It hasn't bent a bit. Holds your phone really great even in the case. So good. You need to get one.
Oh, that's really important. Yeah, and she has some giant, like, pink, glittery, furry case at the same time. It's like maybe a unicorn dragon pelt. You don't even know. It's got that It's got that shimmer stuff that you can move your hand and it changes to a different shimmer color.
Oh my god, I love your case.
Well, thank you. Someone gave it to me because I'm famous.
I bet you have like 1,000 of those, right?
I wish. So what was your name again? And where do you know me from? Because I'm very popular.
Oh yeah, you probably haven't heard of me. You know, I'm new around here. I'm Brookes Shield. Coming up on the Instagram. You know, signed with Jeffrey. You know, at Alliance Media.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. I guess I should have heard of you then.
Yeah, you know, because you're like a part of Alliance too, right?
I am. He's been so helpful.
Yeah, really, you know, probably helped you get your start and all that.
Well, I like
not
to
that
think,
you needed much help,
I like
right?
to think that it was mostly my effervescent talent. But
yeah,
yes.
He's really good at finding, you know, the diamonds out there.
I like that. And clearly, you're just a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, you know, I'm not as good as you yet, but I'm getting there. I'll get there one day.
Am I right?
Hashtag goals.
So, hey, yeah, follow me. Maybe I'll give you a follow back. That's great.
Oh, I'm already following you, actually.
Oh, that's so great. Kind of pretends to follow you. Just kind of like scrolls and clicks something like, yeah, follow back. You'll get the notification any minute now.
Oh, I'm sure I will. So, hey, I saw your story. Big news.
Can't say much. Shush.
I don't want to.
She kind of like waves at the people who have left already. And, like they're way gone, but like.
Okay, I don't want to read too much into it. But did you sign a record deal with Cloud Giant Records?
Sorry, I wanted to make a joke about that, but that's not in character. She says, I can't say anything. Wink, wink. She doesn't wink, she just says wink, wink.
Just biting my tongue.
Whole wallet in Amy's mouth, just like, oh my god, I need something to bite on.
Well, I can't say much, but congratulations, wink, wink.
Thank you.
If you know what I mean. Have you, you know, done a lot with like Cloud Giant in the past? Yeah. Like. Seems like, you know, you're just such a talent. It seems like, you know, it seems like this is coming so late in your career already, you know.
She says, wow.
They're kind of late to the game.
Okay, wow. Hurtful. Are you saying I'm old?
No, I'm saying that you've been good for so long already.
Well, thank you. Are you new down here? Because I'm new down here. That's the thing. Like I had a big record deal uptown, but things are so new and different down here, and I just had to. It's like I had to start over. No one had heard of me. It was so heartbreaking that they had never been exposed to my talent before.
Yeah, I mean, your talent is one that should reach both uptown and downtown. Yes. Am I right, girl?
I'm going to try and make that happen.
I believe you can.
It was so nice to talk to a fan.
Yeah.
And she pulls out, like, from her tiny little clutch purse, she pulls out 2 headshots and tries to hand one to you, Amy.
No. Yeah, I'm Amy. You tried to bump me the other night at the pit. That's where I know you from.
Oh, right.
You're
the sad girl with the guitar.
Yeah. It's actually the name of my second EP. So, yeah. No, thank you, by the way.
A guitar and a tear. I got it.
Yeah. So, yeah, saw you at the pit the other night. And
yeah, what a disaster. They wouldn't even let me on.
Well, yeah, you can't just walk up the night of, because it's booking and stuff. Now you have other people to do that for you, so you never have to do anything on your own for the rest of your life. They already own your voice. You
It's
can't
great.
say you just said that.
It's
So-
great. What a dream.
Yep. Hashtag in the clouds. Was that it? I got it. Okay. So cool. Funny story about the
She
other night
says
at the
wink,
pit.
wink again.
Yeah. So we were at the pit. We saw you there, right? And that's the same night that this kid got killed. Tragic story. Totally.
Did you hear about it?
Total bummer.
Oh my god, no. What?
Yeah, he worked for your new bosses, actually. Well, worked is, when you're an intern, are you really working? It's kind of like leasing out your soul, but
Wow, okay. It's more than just like the song. Okay, no, I got it. No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I hope they start some sort of memorial intern fund or something for him.
Maybe you could like write a song for them.
Yeah.
Didn't
It's not
mention it was a hymn, but
Quite. She says what? I just assumed that's not okay in 2020, the year of the streetcar. That was my bad.
yeah.
It's just
Adrian Widestreet was their name.
that's
Insight check.
yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, I think I'm thinking of the wrong character. I don't have like detect thoughts or anything, right? No.
no.
I don't
Oh my
think
god, third
so.
level's the worst. All right. So, yeah, insight. I will use the in-app roller. Man, that 7 looks like a 1 every time, by the way. But I got a 10.
Okay. Brooks, did you also want to make an insight check?
Sure.
Please. Your wisdom can't be very good, so.
They sell your soul.
Also rolled a 7,
Okay.
and so I have a -1 to that.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so a 10.
Her face is reading as uncomfortable, but it's hard to tell why it's uncomfortable, other than maybe that you were having a nice conversation and then you brought up a random dead person,
Sure.
and she doesn't know what to say about this, and she's just like, that's so sad, and I hope that the police find whoever... Suddenly, a cat.
It finally happened.
Perfect.
I hope the police find whoever did that. Whoever that would be.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, that night you kind of stormed off, but then you did come back and check out the show.
I did,
Sad
yeah.
girl
I
with the
wanted
guitar.
to the acoustics and the sad girl with the guitar. I wanted to see what the aesthetic of the room was. It wasn't my kind of room anyway. Too many. I was gonna say thinkers, and that's certainly she wouldn't say that. It was so authentic, and I love that, but there's not enough room for my stagecraft.
Right. Yeah, well, just had the insight check. I cast a zone of truth, but it feels a little awkward in the middle of
And
the.
suggest that she tell us everything that she knows about him.
Yeah, her hunter's gonna get here pretty soon.
2 spell slots to do this in.
Yeah, I have a couple first levels, but why don't we try that? Because you can get him back on a short rest anyway, right? So try and suggest she tells us more, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I would suggest that you tell us everything you know about Adrian.
Adrian.
Okay, hold on a second. What kind of
Hoping her wisdom is as low as mine.
She says, well, this pleasant conversation with a fan has been ruined, and that's very rude. Can't believe you would cast a spell upon my person.
He knows.
Yeah, well, I'd apologize, but I don't respect you in any way. So,
Wow.
Oops, it slipped dice sometimes. I'm new here. I'm not used to casting spells. It sometimes just happens.
yeah, look, Tabs, I'm pretty much going to cut straight. You are in league with like just a terrible corporatocracy that is going to just dissect your voice, and yeah, you're too on board with that. All right, but also they may straight up be implicated in the murder of a kid. So
Show
you know,
business.
why?
Sorry, that's terrible.
God.
I was gonna say that's too much for even Brooke.
Yeah, look, I am finding it real hard to continue talking to you, but like seriously, you might be getting yourself into danger, and I will give you my number. That if you find yourself in trouble, you can still call me, and that's even though I like nothing about you.
Wow.
But you're another soul out here, and presumably you have some kind of artistic desire. So, yeah, don't get yourself killed for Jaskvar Nimbus. Remember, there used to be one direction, and now there's 5.
So much better that way. There's talent is spread amongst.
All right,
us.
Tabs. Well, and I wait, and I take her Winter.
This is mine. You can't do that, ma'am.
I can't.
It's
All right,
just
I get out the other
order
side.
us.
pay paradise and put up a parking lot. Am I right, everybody? Okay, yeah. So she gets in.
Oh, I pull up my shirt to bear my midriff that says "Fuck Cloud Giant Records."
How Giant Records does fuck, yes.
I walk an awkward distance away and just stand there.
I hate you. I hate everything about you.
I use my full action to disengage from this conversation.
Okay. So she very slowly kind of... It's hard to make a
Shit. Have her sign something. Brooks, have her sign something. Have her sign
Did she
something.
not sign the headshot?
She gave you a headshot, yeah.
Okay.
Amy rejected it.
Yes, no, I'm realizing now.
Mine.
Okay, Brooks took it. Okay, that was before you insulted her.
Yeah.
So she very slowly puts away on one of those little bike things.
Yeah, sorry, I lost my cool there. I just did nothing about her.
It's okay. I'm still, not that great at spellcasting. It probably could have gone smoother if I had been.
Yeah, that was great. Don't beat yourself up about it. Texting Brekka now. Kind of struck out on our way back. But hey, we got her handwriting, right? What's her stupid signature look like?
It's very flowy and girly.
Big puffy girl handwriting. That's something, but short of literally fighting her in the middle of the street, we can follow up with her later and like straight up intimidate her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was kind of in that area that night, we know.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, and we'll start like walking back or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, but the thing that's fucking me up about that, like, she didn't come in and she wasn't like crying or shaking or seemingly distraught, right, Andy? Like, she just came in, checked the vibe, and bounced. Was your description of it
Exactly,
then and now?
yes.
I think so. So did she get tied up with that later, or I don't know.
Maybe Cloud Giant Records requires you to like kill somebody and take their place at the company.
I wouldn't put it past him, man.
Amy,
Maybe that was her way of like proving herself to Cloud Giant.
Amy, can I get a wisdom or intelligence check with advantage?
What? Just straight up.
Just straight up.
Okay. Got a 13 and a 6. So I got a 13.
Okay. Something you do remember after Brookes says that, Brooks's warlock pact did say you get boons if you kill people.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, maybe it's not Jaskvar or whatever. Maybe it's Jeff. Because, like...
Oh, I don't know if she signed with Jeff, but I know that she's,
Well, when you said Jeff, and I did want to follow up on that, but she just made me so mad. But when you were saying Jeff, she didn't mention who she worked for, but what you guys started talking about him really quickly. So I did kind of get the impression. Like, how close are you with Jeff? If you were like, hey, do you represent Tabitha too? Do you think you'd get a hit back on that?
I could try.
Yeah.
It's always worth a shot.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's maybe get off the street, though, since they do have the power to make people's heads explode. Let's all be together before we start angering magical fish monsters.
Yeah, I could, like...
Again, you know what I mean?
I could hit him up and be like, oh, hey, just ran into Tabitha, and she mentioned that she was represented by Elias, too. I'd really like to meet her sometime or something. Are you...
Cross-promote.
Yeah, do like
Right,
a cross-promotion. Yeah, like, do you represent her, or is it somebody else that I need to talk to?
Yeah, all right.
Real business cash.
Let's try that, and we'll just see what... Hopefully the others learned something.
All right, back to Brekka's.
Okay.
Yeah. We fast travel.
Yes. So you head back to Brekka's. You grab, either one of the L's or another bike cart thing. And you reconvene. Brekka, you've been doing your best to Photoshop this thing. And it's certainly, you've kind of messed with some of the settings a little bit, and it's certainly a little more clear, and you've kind of messed with the saturation and all that stuff so that you can sort of see what is happening a little bit better. It's still hard. You're not going to get a positive identification or anything, but you're pretty sure you know what you're working with. Is there anything else you two would have done while Brookes and Amy were out?
No, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what Tina would do, but Brekka would probably just be in front of the computer, just hitting the mouse, going, trying to figure out saturation levels.
Enhance.
Tina is definitely checking the conspiracy theory boards again, but this time more about what's going on with Cloud Giant Records? People saying weird things about that.
Okay, yeah. So
their stories.
There's a couple things about Cloud Giant Records. One, you find that sort of the reaffirming belief that in the past they were associated with the mob. That is something they have done their best to kind of sanitize their image around. There's a bunch of people complaining about how the Beatles are it's false advertising and it's not very fair. Because it's just a group of singing Beatles and they're perfectly fine, but they're not the Beatles.
This discourse again.
Yeah, it's a lot of... And then there's someone who clearly doesn't understand what they're being talked about. And it's like, they were so much better when Pete Best was in the group. It's like, wow, okay.
A weird take.
They were authentic back in Germany playing weird lounges and on covers.
And again, that's Amy's account.
Yeah, De Silva Faye 69, something like that.
Yeah.
And mute.
Yeah. Can't believe there were 68 other De Silva Fays. So there's that. There's the persistent rumor that Avril Lavigne is been replaced. But yet there's not a bunch. You would say, kind of having been on these conspiracy theories for a while, their image is almost too sanitized. Like all of the conspiracy theories about them are like so ridiculous as to be just kind of dismissed out of hand by, in your opinion, as someone who like kind of skates these things. So it seems like perhaps they have very active mods, or they pay some law firm or something like that to kind of make sure their online image is clear. There are some people who complain about their internship program, which are met with people who say the internship program changed their lives and, you just didn't understand and all that stuff.
Look at the usernames and it's first name followed by a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, it's their account was created. They have one post.
God, these bots need to get better at not being bots.
What? Becky 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 isn't real?
Yeah, and it's not the default user image, but they've actively deleted the default user image, so now it's just that blank person, which is somehow more suspicious.
Yeah. Cloud Giant HR 69.
Now that is most certainly a real person. She's gonna also check out the accounts of the mods. She could find any personal information about them so that she could go back to Brookes and be like, hey, can you find this person?
Sure, yeah, you find a couple of them who, if you kind of search their username, you figure out they use their username on a couple different things, and yeah, eventually you find their real names associated with, a Facebook account or something like that, Twitter kind of thing. So yeah, you get a couple of their real names.
Terrifying how easy this is. Remind me never to use my real name online.
Oh, it's already out there.
Oh, thank you.
That's why you got to go analog. Telling you guys off the grid.
Nope. Facebook just creates a fake a ghost profile for you with filling in the information that they figured out on their own.
It's very, very disturbing.
Okay, yeah. You all reconvene.
I got Tabitha's headshot. Does this look like the handwriting you saw, Brekka?
Brekka will hold the two, or at least will hold it up. Does it?
It's hard because they actually have no letters in common other than the I in Tabitha and the I in I'm sorry, but the I in I'm sorry is capitalized.
Right.
Oh no.
But they certainly look like they could have been written by the same person.
Important question.
Right.
Was she right-handed?
She did seem to be right-handed, yes.
Okay.
Amy and Brookes, you would have noticed that.
Yes, she was trying to hand off her stuff with. Yeah, I don't believe her for a second, but she kind of stone-faced me good enough that I can't, it didn't make it seem worth it to start a whole scene on the street confronting her about it once, I didn't really see enough to progress, but I definitely think she's involved.
She also might have killed for likes.
She might have killed for likes, which is gross. All over. Now we're in a Black Mirror episode. It's a fun. So yeah, one thing we can do is try and follow up with Jeff to see whether or not Jeff directly.
Oh yeah,
deals.
could I have tried to DM him while we were heading back?
You find the account that DM'd you in the first place, and you message them back, and you get a form message that's the great CEO, CIO, CFO, vice president of emotional sales. What's emotional sales? That's gross sounding. Jeffrey receives many messages daily from personal fans and clients. He will return your message as soon as he can, but in the meantime, enjoy 50,000 Elias Media Group points.
Got points. 50,000 of them. I bet you I could get at least a small coffee.
I have a feeling they're like Lira, and it's just millions of them are $1.
Yeah. Well, you got to convert them into the Caribous coffee points, so you lose some in the conversion.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Just adds a bunch of zeros to the end of all their power ratings to make it seem bigger than it is. What's 10,000 that 100 wasn't? Or 10? Get out of here. Amy has takes. All right. Well, I guess we'll wait to see if Jeff gets back to us. Yeah.
Oh, I found someone on the traffic cams.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What'd that turn up?
This guy's self. At least that's what it looks like. Because that's what Brekka told me. I wouldn't really know.
Oh. How
Wait, Brooks,
tall?
isn't that one of your spells?
Oh, yeah. I've got the app for it right here on my phone.
Well, if Jeff gave you that, then it would kind of make sense if Tabitha signed with at least someone from Elias Media Group that she would have similar spells, if not the exact same one.
Yeah. How tall would you say Tabitha was?
She's typically wearing heels.
No, that's true.
But you would say in heels, yeah, she's maybe 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
So without them, 5'5". I don't know how big heels are.
Yeah. She's definitely in some obnoxious heels.
A bit coincidental, but like we've got some solid things to pin on her.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
She was in the area.
I mean, if we really wanted to back her into a corner.
And I kind of do. She is the worst. But also, like, she might actually be in danger or a murderer. And either of them is worth following up on. I don't know. And
I mean, yeah, that whole entering the club could have just been trying to establish an alibi, but it's still a lot of circumstantial evidence that's just like really circumstantial at best.
Yeah. Like it's not even enough to suggest we go to Griff because we don't. I think he'd laugh in our faces with what we have, so we have to go get more, even if we do turn this over to the authorities. And yeah, she's kind of our only lead that doesn't involve maybe ending up fighting a cloud giant, so or a Mareed, and neither of them at our level would be recommended. So yeah, we might have to all kind of show up and
Give her the shakedown.
Yeah.
If we don't want to make a scene, we could take her phone.
Oh, you'll get a scene if you take her phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, that's avoiding a scene.
We don't like take it like while she's holding it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean like subterfuge?
Yes. Like I don't know, maybe like. I guess she would take her phone in the bathroom. She seems like
Yeah, no.
Oh, that girl is.
When she's not holding it, I think is going to be her harder window to find.
Yeah, sleeping. That's probably about it.
I'm not even convinced that. So yeah, do we want to try and track down where she's at? and stake out / kind of break in to her place.
I'm all for stakeouts. I got a little kit for me.
We just becoming the stalkers now, outside of somebody's window.
Yeah, but again, she's either in danger or is the villain of the piece. So one way or the other, we're either putting ourselves in a position to save her from her own shitty contract work. No, I mean, she's now in 2 bad contracts. And at the end of her life, it's just going to be a tug of war for her soul. Devils ripping her apart. Hate to see it.
People are fighting over me. Yes.
Yeah, no. Someone who plays a character who is the worst. She's the worst. Yeah. Let's try and find out where she's staying.
But do we have any other avenues that we could look down first before we go back to Tabitha? Because the way you're sort of describing your interaction, it didn't go well.
It didn't, but that's because I rolled a 10 on my insight. And like, if we all get around her, I can cast Zone of Truth again. We can try Suggestion again when we're not trying to cover for the fact that we're just on the street. If we just go and keep casting spells at her when we've got her on her own, like she's not
also,
established.
She doesn't probably know Brekka and Tina, and I can make myself look like somebody else. So,
well, and that's part of it too, because how did she know to plant the body at Brekka's? Which means someone else put her onto it. So we're not going to eliminate. Tabitha is not the full mystery here, but Tabitha is our current clearest path to it.
Well, and also if she was the murderer, she would have had to like either hustle Buns over to Adrian's to kill him and stuff after she left the bar, or she would have had to have pre-murdered him and been just keeping the body outside of the bar, which is gross.
Yeah,
you wait.
It is, and good point. Yeah, because Adrian's isn't close to here, so Adrian,
or she could have roughed him up, knocked him out or something, brought him to the second location, killed him, gone to the bar to establish that she was there in the area,
then moved his body. And what was the I'm sorry about then? Just performatively like guilty conscience, and she thought that was somehow absolving?
Sorry I dragged your body all over town.
Okay. So yeah, other things we could look at is there anyone else who was walking by at around the same time, since you have all the printouts? Can we recognize anyone from the traffic cam to see if they remember somebody?
No. I mean, Brekka certainly recognizes neighbors, perhaps, walking to and fro, but nobody like you all have encountered so far or anything.
Yeah.
Like, the Deep Scion guy would... Although he's a shape changer, so he would have properly had his form changed, but you don't see him or anything.
No. Not his 70s dad
right, yeah.
vibe. And he was taller than the person in the traffic cam.
Yeah, he was he was about 6 feet.
All right. And was definitely like sent to monitor the situation. So yeah, other people have an investment in this. Yeah, Brekka, unless you're seeing something I don't, we can wait to follow up with Jeff. We can directly investigate the Elias Media Group more, but then we might make it hot for Brookes. We do have the phone number of the Mareed. We could call back and kind of be like, hey, tell us something more.
But that also might get my head exploded.
Could Brekka look up that number?
Sure, yeah, you can plug it into a database. It's an unregistered cell phone, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's both the phone that you took from the Deep Scion and the number they're both burner phones.
Okay.
We could go to Cloud Giant and pretend to be interns, but...
Yeah, well, and again, I can go back... Because when we were talking about that, before, like I could maybe get through the door by kind of being like, tell Jasper I want to reconsider. Or we do have Adrian's badge. We can get in. I don't know what we look for once we're in, but we can get that far at least. You can disguise self. I have a disguise kit. Actually, never mind. I don't have disguise self. But yeah, we can definitely get our way in the building at least. What we do once we're there would be the only question.
So we might want to shake down Tabitha first, find out things that we need to be looking for, and then...
Yeah. Because, yeah, there's definitely some things that don't add up yet. Tabitha is not the only villain here, even if she ends up being the one who performed the murder even.
Could I check and see if she got like a bump in likes around the time of the Moida?
You'd say, since it's essentially 2 nights ago now, she has had a steady uptick of followers and likes, but it is commensurate with a steady uptick since she has gotten here. Like, she started out with nothing. And then kind of maybe a couple days in, she all of a sudden started getting more and more, and it kept going up and up.
All right.
Okay.
Cross-check that because she hasn't done a show.
Correct.
Yeah, no, she's not organically growing. And by the way, the dark other side of her story is that even despite her mall shows and her worldly fame, she was forgotten about enough to fall down here. So she is fake on toast.
Maybe we could use that. We can get Grigor to contact her, and as an apology about not being able to have her perform on stage, like invite her back and have her come and perform. And then that's where we'll...
Yeah, she did kind of hate the vibe of the pit, but that also might have just been her stunting since they didn't let her perform. The minute they call back and be like, would you like to perform? What's an open slot on a Sunday night, though? Is that a... Who wants to do that? But yeah, no, that's a great idea. Maybe come down and talk about it, and then we have her somewhere. Worth a shot, for sure.
Gregor does seem very eager to help.
Yeah, he just went full shirtless and coupons, which I have evidence that they don't like because some nipples are illegal. I love you, Amy.
Does Amy say that aloud?
She high fives herself. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So when do we want to do that tonight? Try and get Grigor to set that up for tonight.
Yeah.
Come down and we'll talk about next weekend or something. Because yeah, it's worth a shot. I have a couple ways that might not work that I don't want to give to Andrew. So let's let him come up with them on his own and. Yeah, we should go directly to the pit so that there's not a trail.
Okay, that is my question. Okay, so my question is, all right, it's multifaceted. Okay, you want to try and get Tabitha to go to the pit.
Yes.
You want to confront her there or use it as a pretense to go into her apartment? Which one?
Ooh.
Why not both?
Well, she's not going to leave her phone behind, so...
Certainly not, but...
She might leave other incriminating evidence.
We could also establish a stakeout point for when she does return.
Oh. Are we going to split the party 4 ways?
Since this one for sure might just straight up go into a combat, I don't know that we want to split the party completely, but that's a good point, because if we get her out of her apartment, that's a good time to at least go in there and rustle around for clues. But since I think her phone's going to be the most clue-rich part of this, I don't know what we're looking at her apartment for, other than a series of death notes or something. I don't know.
Oh, she left her death note behind. Okay.
There's only one name in it, and it's the name of the victim.
Yeah. Although, it's as much giving Andy an idea too.
Well, Andy did just give us an idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess we owe him one.
So if somebody goes to the apartment, I think it should only be one of us, and that is the most dangerous way of splitting the party. So I don't know how good an idea that is necessarily.
I mean, my idea was we split the party 2 ways again, or in half.
Okay.
One person is the stakeout person outside the apartment, and then one person goes in, and then the other two confront Tabitha at the pit.
Okay. Since the two going to the apartment will be trying to avoid detection, hopefully that's not itself confrontational, although if confrontation comes, you're going to necessarily be separated. So that's dangerous. We'll at least have Grigor if he's willing to back us up at all.
Almost certainly.
Yeah. So we'll be in less danger that way, but...
He is champion of the pit.
Yeah, he is champion of the pit. But goddess forbid some deep scion shows up outside the apartment to be like, that dude wasn't the only deep scion we employed, by the way. He was tough for us plus Grigor, and that dude was boned from round 1. So that would be my worry about sending you guys there. But that's a risk. Brekka, you'd at least have to go. And since we have...
Apartment.
Yeah. And since Brookes and I have all the charisma spells to try and make her do what we want, I think we need to be on that team again where we are just harassing this woman by this point.
Stalking her and harassing her.
And just, yeah. She is going to be able to just straight up call the cops by the end of this. And they're going to agree with her.
You may be the worst, but we're the ones who are actual criminals.
Yeah, no, we're... It's always the problem with a lot of these detective stories. It's just going to be like, wait, you're breaking the law.
We are only criminals until we're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were just haranguing this person into confessing and not finding evidence against... Not you. In detective stories, that is often the case.
Yeah.
Stop following me home and find some fucking evidence.
The only thing I could think of is that it might be better to swap Tina out with Amy, because Tina at least isn't someone who burned her bridges with Tabitha.
Good point. It's a good point.
But Amy has the zone of truth.
Look like someone else.
Yeah, I do have the zone of truth.
And I don't think that we're necessarily...
She tells the truth, then she just tells the truth. Tina, what kind of spells you bring in today?
Without trace. If you send me to the apartment, it could not be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, being a nature magic person is not doing so hot for me in the big city.
Yeah. Do you have Bane or anything that would harm her ability to save?
I have guidance that can help people with their abilities.
Yeah, because I agree. The minute she sees me there, it's going to be confrontational anyway. And that's even saying that she takes the bait. So why don't we start with the bait? And then, yeah, you know what? I like that. Brekka, you and I will go to the apartment. And Brookes and Tina and Grigor can try and get a better answer out of her. What is it? It's a whiz save?
Mm-hmm.
And she's already sold her soul twice, so she can't be that good at them. Not to metagame it too much, but let's be honest.
It did save against it once, though.
Right.
But
yeah,
Andy
I
had that suspicious look on his face that said, I rolled really well.
I rolled really well. I rolled a 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to be a numbers game, but you only get to do that twice. And then we're going to have to tie her up while you wait for rest for an hour to try it again.
Which Tina does have lots of spells that can restrain people.
Yes.
I do.
It's true.
And Grigor is strong. He can attempt to physically restrain her.
But again, we are
That will
piling
not-
on our
that
crimes.
will not look good. Yes.
We have abducted a girl at that point.
Okay, so maybe then.
Hold on, just for an hour, though. We only abducted her for an hour.
Gonna take a quick nap. Does anybody have cat nap? Because that will at least make our abduction time shorter.
No, I think because Catnap's a 3rd level spell. None of you guys have that yet.
Yeah. So, alternatively, do we all just want to go to the apartment and confront her there? We can look through her stuff. We can cast all the spells. We'll have everyone in one place in case we're jumped by tentacle fishmen, or she summons a greater demon or something. Because if she's into murder already, maybe she's leveled up more than us too. You know what I mean?
We would just have to worry about Grigor not keeping Tabitha busy long enough.
Right. No, we would. In this plan, we're just confronting her in her apartment with her there. Like, if we do it the way I'm suggesting right now is we just go and confront her.
Although I do think that Brekka brings up an interesting side plan, which is have Gregor distract her at the pit. We break into her apartment, root around while she's not there, see if there's anything that we even need to confront her about that we could try and prove or disprove while she's out of her apartment. And then when she comes back, then we confront her then.
Yeah, actually,
If we need to.
That might be the best of all plans. Anyone have a push one way or the other on that?
I don't see anything bad with it.
All right, so we try and get Grigor to get her down to the pit to discuss. And Grigor just does that, right? He just is like, oh,
Yeah,
you're
he
really
actually
on the
has
rise. Yeah.
Real life conversation with her.
I was throwing out the coupons.
We all go in, look to see if we can find anything, and yeah, either we find more to leverage into our confrontation with her, or maybe we exonerate her and it's just been a red herring.
Yeah, and then
they just hired Mandy
get
Moore
out
for
of
this
there.
episode. What a great opportunity for Mandy Moore. I think I do like that the best. As much I kind of like splitting the party up again, but I do think at a certain point we have just done a crime on this girl. And we need to make sure that doing a crime on her is going to be worth it.
Let's mitigate the crimes we're doing on her.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, we are also just breaking into her apartment. And all of that hinges on Grigor being on board and her taking that bait. So we ready to cast our stone and get Grigor involved?
Go team.
Okay.
I know we're running a little late, but I want to get to a certain point before we stop. So
yeah, for sure.
Sure. We also started a little late, so
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the episode is technically not 2 hours yet, but okay. So you call Grigor, he's totally on board. Yeah, she was a real jerk, and I will do anything to help catch a crime.
Grigor, you're our number one guy.
You know it. I own a chain of clubs now. I'll tell her that or something.
Okay.
I'm real sorry.
And like we can immediately find out where she lives, right? Because
it's not hard. No,
checking it.
She is taking apartment selfies or whatever. Like, look at my cute new apartment, and it's not hard to figure out where she lives.
Oh, she's doxed herself like 50 times over.
The internet is terrifying. So, you get a text back from Grigor that says, that he has arranged a meeting with her, and she insisted on bringing representation this time, but that he would meet with her tonight to discuss an ongoing he kind of goes into his whole spiel. He's going to try and introduce like an ongoing gig show thing where he pays her to sing here and at one of his many other establishments. I am doing a slight lie.
I appreciate it.
Was it his daughter that worked at the bar also?
He both of his children, he has a son and daughter, both work at the bar, and he says he will bring both of them because especially his daughter is
Kira and Ivan.
Yeah, big and they're all big because they're Goliath. Right. And he is certainly, you saw him, he's pretty jacked, and his daughter seemed to take after him in that regard. She's the bouncer technically. So
and she has more business sense.
Yes. Yes.
Could I text her something and ask her to subtly take a picture of her representation?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So then we'll fast forward to breaking and entering.
Okay.
That sounds
fast travel to breaking and entering.
So you all get to her apartment. You wait a bit.
Skip all this dialogue.
You see her.
Now I don't know what to do.
Walk out of her. So my brother played every video game. I never understood it. You see her walk out of her apartment. She's wearing a totally different outfit than you saw her in earlier. Amy, you get a text from Grigor that says oh my god, her representation is here and they suck.
You take one for the team, Gregor. Thanks.
We got Dick Bieber and Marcy Cumulus, and they're terrible.
Oh, sorry, bud. I'm writing that down, by the way. Dick Bieber is fun. And Marcy Cumulus?
Yeah, that's not her real name.
For sure it's not. All right. Does Kira send a picture? Is it the two goons from earlier?
It's the two goons from earlier, yeah. It's the woman in the nice suit and the sort of obnoxious douchebag Ed Hardy shirt, totally unbuttoned. So what would you all like to do?
Commit a break and enter.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wait for someone to leave the apartment and you pretend you're holding groceries or whatever and sneak in behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And you head up to her apartment door.
All right.
I am highly suspicious of her having some sort of a ring-like device.
Oh.
But
I have an unsubtle way of doing this. But I presume that, Brekka, you have a thieves' tool proficiency or something that can be brought to bear first.
Yes, I do.
Hell yeah, rogue.
Would you like a guidance?
Sure. Always use a guidance.
They're free.
Have a guidance.
Oh, I probably needed that.
Okay, so... Mm-hmm.
That's fine. With guidance, that's an 8.
Okay. You...
Was I supposed to add my dex too?
Yeah, so dex proficiency and a d4.
So a 10.
10? Okay, let me see. Okay. This is one of those... Yeah, this is not a particularly fancy apartment door, and it doesn't have an electronic lock or anything like that. So with a 10, that is the DC you needed, and you click it open.
Oh, good.
I rolled a 3.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Rogues are amazing.
Yeah.
Terrible roll, but we got there.
Yeah, with an 8, I was like, that's... I don't care how generous I'm being, it's not an 8. Unless you left her door unlocked. But a 10 is good.
Yeah, and
you're not breaking it.
Is she already living in I don't know, the Commons luxury suite at all, or is she just in a shitty apartment like the rest of us at this stage?
No, it is. You would say it's a slightly nicer apartment than yours,
okay.
But it's it's not a penthouse or anything like that. It's in a nice, clean, new building.
Right.
Her apartment is sort of If you've ever watched a YouTuber redecorate their apartment, it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all the same. It's, fairy lights everywhere, a bunch of pictures of, they printed off the internet kind of thing. You get them from Etsy. A bunch of blankets everywhere for some reason. It's nice looking. It's very well done, but it's very kind of generic, you'd say. But yeah, it is a nice, small, my dad has a trust fund starter apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look for clues.
Let's do it.
While we're looking for clues, I also want to make sure that there's no, like, camera feed going to her phone kind of a device around.
Okay, yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh, buddy. 7 is the roll of the day. Oh, that'll be a 6.
Yeah, you didn't notice a ring or anything, and quick scanning the room, you do not see any cameras.
Okay. Let's look for clues.
Is Brekka still guidance?
You can get it again.
Certainly can be again by Tina, yeah. I think it's the next check, so Tina, yeah, can re-guidance you.
The guidance is that you need.
Do them all day.
Great thing about cantrips.
Yeah. Okay. So altogether, that's a 17.
Are you looking for clues or cameras?
Clues.
Okay. Clues. Excellent. So, quick looking through, you find in her, like, she's made, like, one corner of, like, the spare bedroom into, like, a recording studio area. Like, she's got those big foam memory things, like a one of those boom clips to your desk microphones, headphones, big computer, like an iMac kind of thing. And looking around, the thing you find immediately that like is like big clue number one is the stack of ripped out papers from Adrian's notebooks.
There it is.
You find that there's written over them in the same handwriting that wrote "I'm sorry" are notes. Like she's rewriting the songs, or
she's stealing songs,
editing them slightly. Can I get perception checks from everyone else, please? Brekka, the other thing you find are a bunch of miscellaneous trinkets in a lockbox. They all seem... Can I get an investigation check from you? And then what is everyone else's perception checks?
Did you want another one from me?
Yes, something.
Yeah, this is notice. I only first heard about this at a con, but are we able to roll under our passive perception?
Yes.
Yeah,
I may consider.
I get the reasoning for it, but I actually think it's better that you can be generally aware, but also dim or caught up. Yeah. So yeah, I rolled an 11.
Okay.
9.
I rolled a 10 for investigation.
Okay. And Tina. Tina?
I said 9.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Entirely possible my mic did not pick up.
Yeah, I might have also just not heard it. But, okay. So, Brekka, you don't recognize any of these trinkets, but you certainly recognize all of the papers. There's something else as you're flipping through. There's like a list of... There is sort of a death note. There's a list of names, and some of them have been crossed out. With this, however, you do recognize the list of names is... They're all names from your files. For people you have... Young people especially that you have tried to help. And everyone failed their perception check, so no one notices that Tabitha has re-entered the room. Because she cast alarm on her door.
Yep.
She says, "What are you doing?"
Hey, Tabs.
Charm person.
Brekka will, like, after looking at the names, will stand up slowly and turn toward Tabitha and be like, I have a few questions for you.
Same.
Work in this context, Tab. Let's see, because I imagine we were all kind of like, well, I know how I'm imagining this, but like we're all kind of in the apartment.
Yeah, and maybe you all kind of slowly regather as she's silhouetted in her doorway.
I was definitely going through her medicine cabinet in the bathroom.
Pocketing something as you walk in. What's up?
What's up? Yeah.
I would like to suggest that she sit down and have a nice talk with us about it.
Oh, well, hold on. She rolled a 5. She does add something to it, but that's going to fail.
Okay.
She will start to talk to you next episode.
Yes. Okay. I figured we had to be close to it.
Yes, sorry.
No, not for the time constraint. I kept not wanting to commit to actions because I didn't want to junk up the timeline. But good, perfect.
Okay. Outros and plugs. Mira.
Alright, you can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Birds Nerds Art. Sometimes, I don't know. Right now, I'm working on some 3D animation things, so you're probably, if you follow me on Instagram and you watch my stories, you'll just see some absolute nightmare fuel. If I have to stare at it for hours, then you guys can stare at it for a couple of seconds.
Hell
Have
yeah.
fun.
Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. You can follow me on the social medias if you like. I'm sorry about the cat. She was sleeping and I thought, she's going to be sleeping for a while, but then she woke up. And she got very annoyed. I had things on my desk.
We all enjoyed your cat.
Never apologize for a cat fighting. CC.
Hi, I'm CC, aka Soup, aka Soupska on Twitter and Instagram. I do artwork and stuff sometimes, but lately have just been real concerned about the world and the state that it's in, and just want to say, first of all, happy Pride. Second of all, Black Lives Matter. And third of all, fuck that new fucking rule that Trump just came out with during Pride Month that actively is hateful towards the LGBTQ community, because that's fucking disgusting.
And Marty.
It's just cruelty for cruelty's sake. You waited until Pride, you absolute monster. Yeah. So hey, I don't like politics in my sci-fi or my fantasy, so click a like or subscribe or ding a bell. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time. If not, tell a friend, invite somebody. Arrest the cops who murdered Breonna Taylor. Black Lives Matter, happy Pride. Andy.
All of those things for now and forever. But we'll be back during the week. Follow us on Twitter or Twitch or YouTube. And everyone stay safe and do the best you can. Have a good night. Morning. I never remember what time of day it is.
It's night for someone somewhere.